This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
How good is that?
Welcome to today's podcast. Kate, I would ask for your understanding on a topic I want to bring up today because I think you can relate a little bit more than me. I'm sort of blessed with that sort of olive Euro skin, you might say, because my father is from Switzerland. But you sort of have sort of a pasty, maybe you're more of sort of a pasty white.
Me?
Yeah, well, how would you describe it? Sort of pommy skin. Imported stuff.
I think I have beautiful skin. But it does tell a tale of a few too many afternoons in the sun.
You can get that. Tom's now checking his elbows because he's concerned about the topic of spray tans as well.
Ashy elbows.
Ashy elbows you can get if you don't look after your elbows. Tom, do you want to give us a look at your elbows? Are they ashy elbows?
Don't do it like that because when you stretch your elbow out, you got to do it like that.
Like that?
Yeah.
Yours are much better than Whip's.
What's wrong with mine? Have I got ashy elbows?
Just slightly, yeah.
Don't tell me.
Full ash.
I've got ash, like Ash Wednesday.
Yours are fine, Jess.
How's that now? The other elbow.
That's not... you need to get the little nail brush in
I
the
had no
shower
idea.
like that.
Anyway, the spray tan lady came to my house yesterday, not for me, but for my wife. What happens after the spray tan is just extraordinary, and I had no idea that this went on. But I've had to be a busy boy because spray tan lady was in town. You'll hear the full impact of a spray tan in this podcast. I'm sure you'll understand.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
27 days till Paris, the Olympics.
Oh, it's not far away.
No, and to celebrate, Snoop Dogg, he's been involved in a exhibition race, which is great. He's done the 200 metre.
Has he?
Yeah, I didn't think he'd have any sort of athletic ability. Don't get me wrong, he's tall and he's thin.
But you mean up and go?
Yeah, just would have thought the lungs might have been tested at different times. He's done the 200 metre race, 34.44 seconds.
Is that good?
The commentator at the time said, not bad for a 52-year-old.
Okay.
Who's lived a pretty green life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll suggest. They knew where he was. It was like a train had gone around the track. There was just smoke.
Oh.
Hang on a minute.
Surely you would have put it down.
He would have had to, wouldn't he?
For how many seconds was it? 34.44 seconds.
It was the worst 34.44 seconds of his life, Kate Ritchie. He didn't know what to do with his hands. It was one of those ones. But what was great too was he then came out to help out. They said, now that you've done that bit, why don't you come up to the commentary box and help out? So he helped out doing a bit of commentary in hurdles. Have a listen.
Bunched in and they run it slow, but he jumped on the top of the hurdle. You can do that? That was a cold trick right there. I like that one. He went off the tippy top.
Oh, he's brilliant.
If there's an event in the Olympics and it's a bit boring, right? If it's one of those events,
Which is
I'm not
might
gonna
be
say
what?
it.
Okay, tell me what you think is boring.
I'm not going to label what I think a boring event of the Olympics is. But there's a couple out there where we all go, oh, that's on, is it? Well, when's the next thing?
Yeah.
If Snoop Dogg was commentating, it would be so good.
Yeah.
It would be amazing.
It's like when Roy and HG would commentate the football.
Yes. And they had their Olympic special that time.
Oh, they did too.
Their commentary of the wrestling and the Greco-Roman wrestling was just extraordinary, some of the position those men found themselves in. Anyway, Snoop Dogg coming to the Olympics in 19 days.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Kate, I think I've stumbled across an excuse not to do anything around the house.
Oh,
But it
what's your
doesn't-
new one?
It doesn't work for me. It works for my wife. And I've noticed sort of a frequency of this taking place where it sort of renders her, I don't want to use the word useless, but renders her out of action. All around the house.
What do you mean out of action?
She can't do anything.
Housework?
Yeah.
Vacuuming?
Nothing.
And what about lawn mowing?
No. It's called a spray tan. It's been creeping into a house a bit. Lady comes around with a portable tent. I've noticed it.
Oh, you've got one that comes to the house.
Yeah, lady comes around. $35.
35. I
Oh.
don't think I want a tent with spray tan in my house.
Oh, you've just had a month in Fiji. Congratulations. Off you go. She's standing there in a G-banger.
What, the lady doing the spraying?
Yeah, and Lisa.
Everyone strips down to their
weird.
underwear.
Should've
Come
parked-
on, tops off,
Should have
guys.
parked in the driveway. Can't believe you walked up the street like that. So, like
Okay.
5 minutes later, and then all of a sudden Lisa walks around the house like she's arms are out, no top on, and just legs and thighs are trying not to touch. And she walks around like that.
For how long?
Can't put anything in the dishwasher.
Well, you can't get your hands wet.
Can't run the Can't run the tap on the sink, so I can't sort of wash any of the plates either.
No cooking.
I tell you what, I can't cook because I'm kind of stuck like this for a while we dry.
You have white walls and a bit of white
Very
furniture
dangerous.
in your house.
It's like a spinning pile of mud.
I think you look like a big Mars bar when you get a spray tan.
Sheets of brown. My God.
But does she
Can't run the bath.
Okay, yeah.
Can't run the bath. Can't dry the kids. Can't get emotional in case you cry. Can't drive anywhere either.
That means you can't speak with an excellent plan, Lisa.
So she just sort of stands there. I'm like, oh, what do we do now? I don't know, but you'll have to do everything.
You might have to step up.
It used to be like, I don't know, once every couple of months, maybe if there was an event on. She'd go, I'm going to all this effort, I may as well get a spray tan. Now, it's almost happening every day.
Well, it is. We're in winter now, though, so she's getting.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, she's getting the spray tan because there is no day-to-day exposure to sun. I mean, it's a much safer option than going out there and having a.
Can't put the washing on.
Getting a suntan.
Can't do that. Can't pick up that because then what if it runs? Don't touch me! Don't touch me!
I think that's probably
Can you
the
change your channel? Oh, I don't want to get tan on the remote.
It's very annoying.
You can't do anything.
I get my
do anything.
Spray tan outside of the house, and then I just put a tracksuit on.
Do you?
But I'm not
do you
that
get on with things?
Well, you can do certain things. You can't wet your hands, but you can sit the perch on the end of your desk chair and you can still work. And I like to go and get a spray tan, which I don't do very often anymore because of pigment. But you have to stay at home for 2 hours. So you can be quite productive.
Don't step on my toe. Oh, no one's looking at your toe.
Yeah, they are.
Your toe's not going to make you feel good if you look down and go, oh, how beautifully brown is my toe. Congratulations.
You done?
Can you wipe down the table? Oh, you can't wipe down the table either. Huggies wet ones. That'll run it.
And the children can't touch you.
And you need the consistency, I understand, on your hands, Kate. You need to make sure that it's sort of well balanced down the arm onto the hand.
Round the wrist and on the knuckles.
Because your danger areas, I believe, wrists, knuckles, and also ankles.
Yeah.
Because people look down and go, oh, that's a bad tan. And elbows are hard. You know?
Well, that's because people don't clean their elbows enough and they end up with ashy elbows.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, an ashy elbow.
What's an ashy elbow?
An ashy elbow?
I've never heard of an ashy elbow.
Yeah, it is. Check out your elbows today and I bet you go, oh, I haven't seen them. They get like all grey. They get grey. And on some people who haven't cleaned them for years with like a little nail brush, they're like, oh, they're just so disgusting.
Remember Fitzy had that. He had like an elbow exfoliator cream he was using, Tommy, for a while in the office. Like the show would wrap up, he'd go back to the desk and go, all right, elbow time.
Yeah, for quite a few minutes.
And be scrubbing it into his elbow. He must have had ashy elbows.
Maybe. And BJ said, oh, they're gross, you need to do this.
Yuck, ashy elbow,
You can sometimes get them when you're doing a lot of leaning on desks and things like that and working in the art. And you don't see your elbow. But don't forget, this weekend, don't forget your elbows.
Whatever you do, don't forget your elbows.
Out of sight, out of mind. Should not be the case.
And if Lisa's listening, I just hope the tan's going, well, promise me you won't do anything around the house. Please don't. You don't need to do a thing.
The Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
This is exciting because it kicks off Monday and it is such an important movement. It was actually started by this beautiful man. It's called Dry July and it will provide invaluable services for cancer patients, their families and carers. The main man behind the force is Adam Spencer. Welcome to the show, mate.
Well, 2 days, 16 hours, 14 minutes and 38 seconds.
You're not cramping,
37 seconds. 32. No, we're looking good. Very excited about my 17th Dry July coming down the line starting Monday.
I cannot believe this. Is this your concept, Adam?
We were doing a talk back on my ABC radio station in 2008 about giving up booze. 3 guys rang in and said they were going to do a Dry July.
Yeah.
Some of my listeners hopped on board and said, we'll do it with you. One of the guys was a web designer, so we threw up a basic website. Instead of the $3,000 they wanted to raise, we raised $257,000 for Prince of Wales Hospital.
Wow.
It was meant to buy a television. The woman at the hospital muttered the immortal lines, It's going to be a bloody nice TV. And Dry July was born. We've been back every year
Oh,
since.
that is so amazing. I didn't know that story. That makes it even more
great
special. What
story.
an incredible theme.
Spence, do you know what's Go on, mate.
Up until the beginning of this year, we've raised $90,300,000. If we have a big year this year, there's a chance someone who signs up for this campaign will raise our 100 millionth dollar.
I take my hat off. That is extraordinary.
And there is nothing bad to come out of giving up the booze for July. Let's be honest.
Yeah, well, the great thing is both you get something personal out of it. I'm really looking forward to this one. I've set myself some pretty ambitious fitness and health goals to achieve. Yep. But while I'm doing that, I'm raising money for adult cancer services around Australia. When you go to dryjuly.com, you can choose from one of 40 different partners, hospitals, cancer survivor services, might be where your mum went for her treatment, might be somewhere in your local area, and you can raise money for that great Australian institution while clearing your own head and probably losing a couple of kilos over the month.
Spence, there is some flexibility in the program, isn't there, in that you can donate X amount and that'll get you a beer?
Of course you're asking about the loopholes.
No, but I know that it's like a support program.
Yeah, we call it the golden ticket. Look, if you want to do Dry July, but it's your son's 21st in the middle of the month, you can get sponsored to have a night off. I think it's still $25 to have a night off sponsorship. There are some people who sign up and immediately donate $775 to themselves and carry on. That's not Wippa. That's not the idea of the golden ticket. But if there's one wonderful event, a wedding or something that's going to stop you otherwise raising money for the month, we will allow you in through that little backdoor loophole.
But I love the way it ticks off everything, and if you want to achieve a personal goal, you're halfway through the year, it's really a great chance personally for you to reset, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the time of year when you look back at those. Remember those New Year's resolutions?
Oh, yeah.
How did they go? And the other great thing is, but a month is enough time to have a bit of an examination of your relationship to alcohol.
Yeah.
And you go along to certain things you go to all the time where you might have a few, and you realise 20 minutes into the meal, I've been offered 7 drinks so far. Or I'll go and watch my beloved Sydney Swans play. Now, get this. When I watch the Swans play sober, it turns out the umpires are trying as hard as they can. They make the occasional mistake. It doesn't really influence the result.
Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it?
Who would have thought?
I can't get my head around this.
Yeah, that is so funny that you should say that, Adam, because I don't think until you give up alcohol do you realise how prevalent it is. It's wherever you look. It's what anyone talks about. Every conversation in the office is about what somebody did last night or what they're going to do on the weekend. And that's not usually about the activity itself. It's about the drinking culture around it.
And the interesting thing is, I think, regardless of how much you drink, whether you are a moderate drinker, whether you drink more than you should, I think the vast bulk of people underestimate how much they do drink.
Yeah.
And a month off is more than enough time to just realise at certain events you always go to and just the quality of your sleep goes through the roof. You're walking around and you don't become some, Nancy, grandmotherly evangelist type, but you lose a couple of kilos, you're sleeping better, you're ticking off some exercise goals, and you've raised a few $100 for the local cancer centre.
Yeah.
I know people who found this really hard.
Yep.
I know people who found it pretty easy, but I've never met someone who regrets doing Dry July.
Still on the personal front, someone said to me the other day, we were talking about drinking and drinking problems, and we're discussing a mate who had been probably looking at it too closely. And we were saying you don't have a drinking problem, but you have a bad relationship with alcohol. Because your relationship with alcohol affects your other relationships. And if that means that you're sitting at home on the couch and you're drinking by yourself, and then you get up in the morning and you're punching coffee because you're trying to get through the day and you can't play with your kids because you're too tired, then your relationship with alcohol has affected your relationships. Yeah. And
exactly.
I think that plays on your mind.
Just the amount of stored up energy and free time there is floating around in your diary, if you choose to access it by laying off the sauce for a month.
Yep.
It's a fascinating experience. Go to dryjuly.com, sign up, raise some money for great Aussie cancer institutions, and maybe, put a bit of a spring in your step.
Nothing but inspiring, Adam Spencer.
So good to hear.
Oh my gosh, think of all the money you'll save on that tequila, Tommy.
Yeah.
There's
no tequila for me this month.
A fortune there.
Yep.
Put that towards...
You think that guy's phone bill was big? Whoa.
Oh, register your bills at the Nova Player, Tommy. Spence, we love it, mate. Thank you so much.
Congratulations and credit to you because it's such a great thing.
Yep, sign up at dryjuly.com.
To everyone who's ever signed up, thank you very much. Dryjuly.com is where the action is.
Yeah, let's hit that $100 million mark for Dry July. Thanks, Spence.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
We're on. Yeah. All right, it's time for 60-second starts. Kate Ritchie's Time Still Standing Now.
End of financial year is on now at Sydney City Kia. Visit Sydney City Kia in O'Regan Street, Alexandria.
On a bit of a run, aren't you, Sweets? Hey?
Are you talking to me?
Hey, Sweets.
Are you calling me?
On a bit of a run, mate.
I would. I had a boyfriend that would whistle.
Oops. What happened to him?
I don't know
He's
where
dead.
he is, but they've never found him.
I nor remember where I left the body. This is exciting, Kate Ritchie. You are flying at the moment. So, we jackpot again, $300 up for grabs. And, of course, you go in the running for the brand new Kia Sportage, thanks to Sydney City Kia. Mick in Kingsgrove. Hello, Mick.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Hey, good, Mick. What's on for the weekend, buddy?
Oh, not so much. It's my wife's birthday in 2 weeks' time, so just trying to organise something last minute.
Right.
Last
so you need
minute.
$300, do you?
That would be amazing.
Yeah, it would be. You sound very calm. You sound very, I'd be worried.
Okay, Mick, Kate Ritchie's on fire. $300 up for grabs. 60 seconds on the clock. You're the guest, so you are going first. Your time starts now. Mick, what fast food outlet is currently selling a waffle burger?
KFC.
Correct. What country is hosting the Euros?
Germany.
Correct. Sandra Sully presents the news on which channel?
Channel 10.
Correct. I could eat that girl for lunch. Are lyrics by who?
Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish is correct. What sporting event takes place in London next week?
Wimbledon.
You're on fire, Mick. A caramel slice has biscuit at the bottom and what on top?
Chocolate.
Correct. What beach is longer, Bondi or Manly?
Manly.
Correct. Harry Styles' hit song is called Music for a What restaurant?
Sushi.
Sushi is correct.
Mick.
What colour is the most expensive property on Monopoly?
Blue.
Correct. Slats, flaps, and doesn't matter. Congratulations.
I'm intrigued, though. Mick, you were on fire.
That was good today. I was confident, so...
Yeah, that's what I
God.
meant. You were as cool as a cucumber.
Cucumber.
Is that what you say all of a sudden? I thought that was inappropriate. $300 for you, Mick, to sort out your wife's birthday.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Got a special guest in the studio now. Friend of the show, which is great. J-Mo. Writes confidential for the Daily Telegraph.
Has for a long time.
And is very good at it. And also has the Confidential show on Nova here, which we love. J-Mo, welcome to the studio, mate. You are doing a great job and a great thing. Mental as Anything with J-Mo is the new podcast or on all the podcast platforms here at Nova. Mate, this is obviously such an important topic. What gave you the energy to launch this podcast?
So I made a decision when I was about 17 that I would never hide my sexuality.
Yep.
And I've made a decision around that time that I would never hide the battles that I've had with my mental health. And my mum struggled deeply, was bipolar. And so as a kid going through school, like on weekends, she wouldn't be able to get out of bed and all of that sort of stuff. And then I went through my own battles and went to as low as you can possibly go while still being here.
Yeah.
And over these years, it's taken me a long time to find the courage to speak about it so publicly.
Yep.
But I figure that because I have a platform, because I have a voice, I have been working on this little project bubbling along. It's a passion project. It's Mental as Anyone. It's talking to celebrities, males for this first season, about life for them and the struggles they may have had. And they're not all people that have had clinical depression.
Sure.
But we've all been through our own battles, right?
Yeah.
So there's the band mental as anything. I've played on that as mental as anyone because in my mind, I wear my mental quirkiness, craziness, kookiness as a badge of honour.
Yep.
And no matter where you're from, what walk of life, if someone you're looking up to or is seemingly successful can have their own battles and can share those with you and the tools and tips and tricks that they got through those. This isn't a sad podcast. This isn't sitting there going, woe is me, I'm at my lowest. This is going, how do I get through these moments? What are the tricks that I do? For me, that is turning my phone on airplane mode half an hour before I go to bed. You know, I need my 8 hours sleep. I need to eat as best I can.
Yeah.
Because it makes me the best version of myself. What about you two?
I'm a little bit like you. I get off the grog, and I don't say that I'm not on it, but I avoid it altogether.
Absolutely, I think
and then I
that's
exercise.
I think sleep is a big thing, but I also find I've done a lot of work on realising that the things I tell myself or the stories I tell myself and all of that inner dialogue, it's not true.
Yeah.
And I don't mean the truth. The truth is that I live in Sydney and I have a 9-year-old daughter. I know that's true.
Yep.
But I mean the stuff that I start saying to myself as soon as I wake up, or the worries that I'm projecting that haven't even happened yet. They're lies you tell yourself.
You said that right.
And also knowing in those moments, this will pass.
There's a comedian I should tell you about. He was here. No, I'm not a comedian. But there was a comedian that was on stage here not long ago. His name's Jerry Seinfeld. He talks about sort of mental health as being something that can affect more often creative people. But he says, he puts it quite nicely in that when you're born and you're a creative type, you're handed your briefcase. And you open your briefcase and you have a look at all your creative tools and you go, this is fantastic. I got this, I got this, I got this. And then you look in the corner and there's this little sort of warning around mental health. That sits there and you can't get it out of your briefcase. It's just there, but you've got to understand it comes with all these phenomenal tools that you have to focus on, but every now and then that little bit in the corner you need to just check in on it. What I love about the podcast and the people you talk to are the people that we all know and that we all love. So further stories that are revealed about, those that we look up to in a sense are always so powerful. We've got a bit of Guy Sebastian from one of your eps.
I haven't had a very healthy attitude to my weight in the past. Definitely not. Yeah, on spiral, and it wasn't great.
Is there a moment or moments in life where you're like, I'm depressed?
I think so. I've never been clinically diagnosed as depressed, but I feel like I've been fairly dark in certain places.
Love that, man.
How powerful. Like, Guy is the most beautiful human. We get to do these quick chats with Guy as he's promoting a single or doing whatever, but I've known him since 2003. That, for me, was the most real chat I feel like he's ever done in a media perspective, because it was all shackles were off.
Yep.
It was a safe space and we spoke about everything. Yeah. And there's heaps of awesome guests coming up that I think are really inspiring.
Can you give us a
Robert
couple
Irwin
of
on Tuesday morning from 6 a.m.
Love
We've
him.
got Ant Middleton the week after that. We've got Michael Clark, which is going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
Colin Fastnage. Mental as Anyone, the first season is 10 eps. We've recorded them all.
10.
So first season I've done all men because 7 men we lose each day in Australia.
Is that what the number
women.
is?
That's the number. Now the second season is all women. Kate, will you come on?
I don't know if you've got enough tape.
Have a think about it. I'll text you. I'm going to be on it.
I get so nervous.
But I just think there's so much power in people talking about this stuff. Yeah. So thank you for having me on here. This is the most important work that I've done in my career, aside from Confidential and Nova on Sunday nights at 7.
Yeah.
J-Mo, congratulations.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. This means a lot.
The Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
I'm not here to muck around today. I've got 3 cracking riddles which I've refined over the past 12 years, and I present them to you today. Here we go. The first riddle. I see your every move. I know your every thought. I'm with you from birth, and I'll see you rot. What am I?
Eyes.
Nope.
I'll see you. I see your every move. I'll see you rot.
I see your every move. I know your every thought, and I'm with you from birth, and I'll see you rot. What am I?
Is it your brain?
How dare you, Thomas Bryanov, be so good at riddles?
Is it really?
It doesn't really make sense, though, does it?
Your brain will see you.
Well, yeah, the minute you die, it's kind of, I suppose it carries on.
You made that up.
You're not brain dead. No,
It wasn't 12 years. I'm just reading it for the first time.
Yeah, exactly. You told me you refined them over 12 years.
I just didn't expect that reaction. Should have tested these off here. What about this one? I have no feet, no hands, no wings, but I can climb into the sky. What am I?
A chopper.
No.
A cloud?
No, Tom.
What
but
is it?
you are very, very close.
A balloon.
No. I have no feet, no hands, no wings, but I can climb into the sky. What am I?
A rainbow?
No. We thinking of Rainbow Wow?
Rainbow Wow around this time all week.
No.
I actually have no idea. Smoke.
Yes, Kate Ritchie.
How did you go from having no idea and then you just pull smoke out of nowhere?
Well, I was trying to throw you off the scent.
Very good.
It just came to me.
You know how to flip this on its head, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
When she turns it on, she turns it on.
Exactly.
Oh, Katy Perry over here, the dark horse.
Oh, you're wearing
With
what
that
Katy
outfit.
Yeah, I
Perry
know.
had
What's
on
it, Daisy?
yesterday.
There she goes.
I apologise.
Here we go.
I apologise.
What is one thing that all men, women, and children, regardless of wisdom or religion, agree is between heaven and earth?
The sky.
No.
It's a letter.
Is it?
And the word "and."
Yes, Kate Ritchie. That is between heaven and
good.
earth. Well played, Kate Ritchie.
Well
2-1.
done, Kate.
Kate Ritchie takes out a riddle time.
Thanks, guys.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
How about this? Take the pressure off yourself, ladies. There's no need to go out with hot men anymore.
Oh my God, I'll stay at home. What do you mean? What's happened?
Finally, you can go out there into the streets being a hot man with a brand new haircut.
Yeah.
You're safe. It's okay for Lisa to let you to go to the shops.
Who would have thought?
Because the women of Sydney are not going to try and track you down. There's this woman on Instagram.
Nice to have a break.
She's got about 2 million followers and, a very varied account of lingerie shots, interests, all of that kind of thing. But she's talked about the red flag with hot men. No more hot men because all they're interested in what goes on behind closed doors.
Right. Okay.
I'm trying to be classy.
Yep.
And playing mind games. Hot men are big on mind games.
Are they?
I don't know. Men. I do think though that some people, not even to do with men, but that people sometimes generally avoid levels of attractiveness.
Yep.
Because it may make them feel inferior. Nothing to do with mind games. Nothing to do with the fact that all they want to do is get into the
boudoir.
Yeah.
You know what? I remember talking to this girl who was a model, and she was very, very attractive.
Just
Kate.
because you pay to have a conversation with somebody on OnlyFans.
No, she came in here to the studio. There was no other way I would have met her. But she said, no one approaches me. When I'm out and about, no one comes up to say hi.
Because she's too hot.
Because she's too hot. And guys sit back going, I'm no chance there, so I won't bother that.
Really?
But you know what? She's going to fall in love. Someone has to turn up. She will meet someone one day. And why shouldn't it be you?
Me?
Not you.
Oh.
That's what I used to say.
I'm not looking for a hot girl.
This is what I used to say to Tommy all the time. We'd go out to a bar, we'd be at the pub, and there'd be an attractive girl over there, and Tommy would sit there going, I'm a mess, I'm a slob, my life's over, I'll never meet anybody. Like, look at me, I'm just a pile of... And I would say, no, mate, put a little bit of hope on your shoulder, grab a drink, and wander over and say hi. I mean, their security often stepped in before Tom got there.
Yeah, it never really worked.
It's just, she's going to meet someone. You must make an effort if you're interested.
You do make it sound, though, that's all we're really trying to do is meet someone to make everything better.
Well, sometimes you are, Kate. And I want you, over this weekend, pop a little hope on your shoulder and wander out the door. You never know who you're going to meet. Take a lot of hope.
Oh, my goodness. Riddle.
Heaps of it. Oh, here's a bag full of hope. Get out the door and good luck.
I've had enough.
Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.